Alright, these bolts that held the, or this machine screws that hold the casing together, I needed a vice grip the size of this house and the torque of a nuclear aircraft carrier in order to get those undone. But I did, thanks to my giant vice grips. Here, let me get them real close. Giant vice grips. And some torque, they come out. And I didn't mess the heads up too bad. There is a way to get this apart. And at the top here, there is, if you had this squeezed together, there's two lips right here. And you can put a screwdriver in between these two lips. Do not put a screwdriver in the center here because this has no gasket. It's a machine surface and we're going to glue it together with some case glue when we finish. So I pulled the back cover off of this and it's kind of spoogey and nasty, and if you notice we're going to fix that. The inside bearing here, this seems to be okay. In order to get your impeller off, I'll show you how you get your impeller off. First you want to take the bolt off. There's a bolt that goes in there, and your electric impact is very handy doing that. And then once you get that bolt off, you can use an old this is thread, it's Japanese metric, so it's 6x1 thread pitch, and just use a longer 6x1 thread pitch bolt. Screw it in there, and you can tap that with a hammer, and it will push the whole mess out, and the impeller will come off, and it will push this whole mess out, so you will get to see it. Okay, you have a shaft here, and what you want to do is you want to examine your shaft. Let's see here if I get some light on this. You want to examine this portion of the shaft where it's shiny, has an O-ring, and make sure it's not rusty or pitted. If it's rusty or pitted, you will need a new one of these because it won't seal right. Your O-ring goes on there. Your O-ring fits inside, actually, inside the bearing here. This bearing feels crusty and old. It feels bad. When I took this off, it was very crusty and it was wet with antifreeze, so it told me it was leaking. And then here's your mechanical seal, and here's your seal plate on top of the impeller. If I can get it out. It's in there. It's got a little rubber gizmo that goes around it. Little rubber cap kind of a thing. And it presses in there, and when the bolt's together, it seals the water pump. Here's the new one, the new part. The top of this and this fit together like so, and it seals it. As it spins around, it doesn't let anything through. And with the aid of this O-ring, it keeps everything out of the engine. Those are the main parts we're going to replace to seal this. We're going to clean everything up, and of course we're going to replace these bearings too, because you've opened it up, you might as well put bearings in it. So let me get to where everything's cleaned up and we're ready to assemble, and I'll come back.